Did you know that brands with compelling stories can increase their revenue by up to 23%? That's right. A well-crafted story doesn't just make your brand memorable, it makes people want to buy from you. But here's the catch, most brands fail to tell a story that sticks. In fact, over 60% of consumers say they don't connect with a brand because its story feels fake or unoriginal. So, why is storytelling so important? It's simple, people remember stories, not facts. Studies show that humans are 22 times more likely to remember a story than a statistic. That's a huge advantage for any brand looking to stand out in today's crowded market. In this video, you'll learn how to turn your brand's message into a story that sticks. From finding your brand's purpose to crafting an emotional journey, we'll walk you through the steps to create a narrative that resonates with your audience. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to use storytelling as your brand's secret weapon. Chapter 1. Uncover the magic, why your brand's story is the secret weapon. Every successful brand has a compelling story behind it. It's not just about selling products, it's about creating an experience. According to a 2016 Nielsen report, 64% of consumers make purchases based on shared values and stories, not just product features. A powerful brand story can make your audience feel something, they'll remember it, share it, and even advocate for it. Think about Nike. They don't just sell shoes, they sell the idea of empowerment. Every campaign tells a story about overcoming obstacles and achieving greatness. The emotional impact of a well-crafted story can build loyalty like nothing else. Storytelling makes brands relatable. People are not just buying products, they're buying into a narrative. And when done right, that narrative will stick in their minds. Consumers want authenticity, and your brand's story is the perfect way to show that you're real, not just another business trying to make a sale. Chapter 2. From idea to legend, crafting a story that sticks. Crafting a memorable brand story starts with understanding who you are. Begin by identifying your brand's core values. What do you stand for? What is your brand's mission, vision, and purpose? Once you've nailed that down, think about the unique perspective you can bring to the table. This is where your brand story begins to come alive. A good brand story isn't about inventing a perfect narrative. Instead, it's about being true to your origins. Patagonia, for instance, tells a story rooted in environmental activism and sustainable practices. Their narrative isn't just about selling jackets, it's about saving the planet. Next, make sure your story is relatable. To do this, speak to your audience's pain points. Consider the journey your customers go through and position your brand as the solution. By showing how your product or service can change lives, you make your story personal and impactful. Chapter 3. The Hero's Journey. Transforming your brand into a legend. The hero's journey isn't just for blockbuster movies, it's a powerful storytelling framework for brands too. In this model, the hero is your customer, and your brand is the guide that helps them overcome challenges. Take Apple, for example. Their story is all about empowering individuals to think differently, be creative, and challenge the status quo. The hero's journey taps into the human need for growth and transformation. When you structure your brand story around this framework, you position your audience as the protagonist, making your brand's role essential to their success. This makes your brand more memorable and meaningful. According to a study by Harvard Business Review, emotionally engaged customers are 60% more likely to recommend a brand and 75% more likely to buy from it again. The hero's journey helps build that emotional connection by portraying your audience as the hero of their own journey. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're enjoying these tips, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more strategies to boost your brand's impact. Chapter 4. Emotion, Facts. How to trigger the right feelings in your audience. People buy based on emotions, not logic. In fact, a study by Neuroscience Marketing found that 95% of purchasing decisions are driven by emotions. This means your brand story should be designed to evoke feelings, not just inform. Consider Coca-Cola's Open Happiness campaign. They didn't just advertise a soda, they promoted an emotional experience. They made you feel like drinking a Coke could bring joy, friendship, and positivity into your life. That's how emotions drive brand loyalty. The trick is to trigger the right emotions. Fear, excitement, trust, and nostalgia are some of the most powerful feelings you can tap into. When crafting your brand story, ask yourself, what do you want your audience to feel? Once you know that, you can tailor your narrative to evoke those emotions consistently across all touchpoints. Chapter 5, Authenticity over Perfection, Why Being Real Wins Every Time in Today's World. Perfection doesn't cut it. Consumers crave authenticity. According to a study by Stackler, 86% of consumers say that authenticity is a key factor when deciding which brands to support. Your brand story doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to be real. Authenticity builds trust, and trust is essential for long-term success. Take Ben & Jerry's, for example. They've always been transparent about their mission, values, and even their imperfections. They don't try to pretend they're something they're not. Instead, they proudly showcase their commitment to social causes and environmental sustainability. When your brand story reflects your true values and purpose, it becomes easier for people to connect with you on a personal level. Remember, it's not about showing off a polished image, it's about showing up as you truly are, flaws and all. Chapter 6, Amplify and Scale. How to spread your brand story across every platform. Now that you've crafted an unforgettable brand story, the next step is amplification. Your brand story needs to be everywhere, across all the platforms your audience frequents. This is where consistency is key. Whether it's your website, social media, or email campaigns, your story should be unified and easily recognizable. A study by Content Marketing Institute found that consistent branding across all platforms can increase revenue by up to 23%. That means your story needs to stay the same whether someone encounters it on Instagram, YouTube, or a blog post. But while consistency is essential, adaptation is also important. Each platform has its own culture, so you'll need to tweak your story slightly to fit the medium. On Instagram, your story might focus more on visuals and emotions, while on LinkedIn, it might focus on thought leadership and innovation. The goal is to meet your audience where they are and make sure your story is engaging on every platform. The more people hear and experience your brand story, the stronger your connection will be. Subscribe for more. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more tips on how to build a powerful and lasting brand. Keep telling your story, and watch your brand thrive.